Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. And in today's episode, I think we're actually going to be starting work on a new kingdom. So, last episode we worked kind of on this little underground pathway, which comes out right about here. Oh, wrong button. Comes out at like 126. So it's like the pathway ends right about, let's see here, like right over here somewhere. And if we keep going in that direction, you actually run into a ravine, like right over here. And I think it would be really cool to build a kingdom kind of in a ravine. And I'm thinking that, we've got this nice big ravine right here, looking good. Phone going off. One moment. The professionalism is real. Why do I always forget to put my phone on silent or vibrate before I start recording? I don't know. Either way, so there's this little, there's a ravine right here. Like, you can't miss it, right? And what I'm thinking is we're going to make, like, kind of an underground, kingdom. I'm thinking something, what I've got, the vision that I have in my head is something kind of like a goblin city in Lord of the Rings, or kind of maybe like the Skaven from Warhammer, for example. Basically kind of a worn down, hi creeper, I see you. Where'd you go? Hi. Stay back. Not exactly the best bow for killing creepers, but it gets the job done. Anyway, so something that's kind of run down and thrown together from cheap materials is kind of what I'm picturing. So there'll be a lot of wood, lots of like rope type bridges and kind of rickety looking planks, very kind of dirty. That's kind of what I'm envisioning here. So the first thing that I think we need to do is make a bit of a tunnel that continues to go off in this direction. And I'm just going to kind of raise it and lower it. Actually, let's put torches in our offhand, because this is going to have to be torched up. Otherwise, we're going to run into some issues. And what we'll ultimately do, I don't want this tunnel to be perfectly straight. It's going to have to kind of wrap around and be all twisted and stuff like that. So we're going to have to extend this and widen it. But I'm basically going to take this tunnel until I hit the ravine, and then I'll come right back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So we've got the tunnel, and it comes out in the ravine just like we want. It kind of wraps all the way back and around and all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to have to clean up this tunnel significantly and really kind of add, definitely widen it. This is way too small. So we're going to have to do that. But it comes out right in the middle of the ravine, which is what I want. Now I'm thinking here, the tunnel itself will be kind of basically just a pathway, ultimately. I don't think there's going to be, we might put like some smaller buildings and things like that along the tunnel. But I think for the most part, it's just going to be a tunnel. Now, I do want to kind of widen this a bit, make it bigger. Thinking maybe it'll be about 5 by 5. So let's see, 1, 2, this would be 5 right here. And I don't want it to be exact and very blocky and square. I want it to kind of have a feeling like it's a little bit natural and random. We can fall too, that's okay. So something kind of like that, maybe. Let's just ender pearl back up there. There we go. Now, I am going to need some houses and things like that. So I think for the most part, most of our pathways here are going to be made out of spruce. So we'll make like a little 3 wide. Well, 3 might be too much, honestly. I'm kind of thinking maybe we go like 2 wide. I think that has a better feel to it as far as kind of what I'm going for. So then the entranceway right here would also essentially be 3 wide as well. And then we can just kind of do something like this and maybe something like that, right? And there'll be a gate here of some sort, kind of a, if you Google like Goblin City, you'll see some pretty cool, very wooden gates, which I think will look pretty fantastic here. So this will be kind of our main pathway. Now, right here, I think we definitely want like a little starter house, a storage place, basically a builder's shack. Whenever you build in survival, it's great to have just a little place where you can kind of store your stuff as you get everything going. You know, put a bed in there, put some chests in there, things like that. So that's what we're primarily going to work on in today's episode, is the builder's shack. Let's put a torch here and here just for now. And the first thing we're going to need is some chest space, I think. Let's kind of widen this out a bit. There we go. And here as well. And I don't want this room to be perfectly symmetrical. I want it to look mostly natural. Basically, the idea here is that the people who live here, they're relatively poor. They're very kind of cheap. They have very low technology. So pretty much they find kind of pre-existing shelters and then they add on to them, is kind of what I'm thinking. So that's kind of what we're going to go for here. And let's just maybe bring this back like this and kind of carve into the wall over here. We'll put a stone block back there. And then I think right here we'll carve into the wall a bit more as well. So it'll be something kind of like that. And then over here we'll maybe work on the wall a bit as well. So something kind of like this. That's kind of what I'm envisioning here. Now, here, I want to have some chest space. So we're going to basically push all this stuff back. There we go. Let's put a torch right here in the middle. And first and foremost, let me throw down my ender chest. I'm just going to put it right here for the minute. We'll put a crafting bench right here. And let's make some chests. There we go. And we'll do something like this. And then, well, do I want them there or do I want them recessed? I think I want them recessed by 1 block. So to be like here, and then, oop, there. More chests. I'm going to need some trap chests as well. And then for now, I'm just going to tear those out temporarily so we can do that. Okay, good. And let's put, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. All right, so that gives us some space to work with. Let's just put all of this stone in here. Let's say this is for wood. As I said, we are going to use a lot of wood. We'll say this is granite diorite and andesite. This will be the all the random things chest. And I think that will do. That should be enough chest space for the time being. I'm going to add some trap chests here in the middle. And then maybe an ender chest right here too. But We also are going to need a bed, so for now I'm just going to take that bed out and put it down just kind of right in the middle of the room. But there we go. Okay, so that's all good. We said this was the random things chest, I believe? Yes. Okay. So let's grab some of this stone. Get rid of that dirt right there because it just looks derpy. And let's kind of clean this up as well. Kind of like this. And we'll see if we can kind of get a feel for the style that we're going for here. So we got the whole thing now as... Okay, that's good. We said andesite, diorite, and stuff in there. We can put maybe dirt over here. Let's grab some oakwood logs. And let's maybe put one here. We want basically a few, like, supports. And we don't want them to be... I don't want them to appear like they're very kind of deliberate and symmetrical. I don't necessarily want them to line up. I just want them to kind of be around, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. The idea here is that the people that live in this village really don't have a great degree of technology. They're very primitive, and they just kind of do what they can to make things work. So maybe the bed will go like here, because we're going to need a bed in here, obviously. We can maybe put the bed like right there, potentially. That might be an option. And then as far as torches go, we can put some torches on the pillars. And the pillars are around, but they're not symmetrical. So that's good. That's what I want. Over here, I think, is where we'll make this like a little crafting area. We're definitely going to want to do something with the floor. I don't know if I want stone floors or stone. I'm thinking stone and dirt for the floors. Hi, creeper. I'm not thinking, and maybe a little bit of spruce, but not a lot of it. So like, as an example, if we could tear up some of this, right, we'd have, and I didn't bring any dirt with me, which was kind of foolish on my part, but we'd maybe do some cobble, right, in the floors like that. Maybe mix in just a little bit of spruce here and there. Like so. Let me get these cobblestoney bits. There we go. Maybe just mix in a little bit of spruce and then some dirt, which unfortunately I don't really have any of. This can be cobble. Do I have ender pearls? I do. I'm just gonna ender pearl up. And I'm just gonna steal some dirt from somewhere. Ow! Skeleton! Go away. I'm just gonna steal a little bit of dirt from somewhere. Maybe like right in here. We'll just mine a bit of this. And that should give me what I need. I think this will be enough. It'll certainly be enough at least to prove a point, to kind of get the idea of what we're going for. So let's see. Our ravine should be like right here, right? Right there. Okay. So let's ender pearl down. And then if we come in here, I think I want the floor in these huts to be like primarily dirt. I think that's going to be kind of the main block that we use. And actually some coarse dirt would probably be good as well, but there won't be any grass, so we could probably get away with just regular dirt too. So it'd be something kind of like this, just as an example. We got a little bit of spruce, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of cobble. Maybe we put another dirt here, and then a stone there. And I think that's probably good. So we'll end up with something that looks kind of like this, and I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and make some cobblestone stairs. And I think we'll put those like up here. Maybe? Do we like that? No, I don't. Maybe we go... Ooh, that could be kind of cool. Maybe we put cobblestone stairs like that. And then in front of it. That's not a bad look. That's actually a pretty good look, I think. And then we can kind of rotate that around. Yeah, I like that. I actually quite like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So, we've got that in place. That's our little chest storage area type thing. I like that combination of the cobble and the... I think for now we'll just go without those. We're going to be using a lot of fences in this area, in this kingdom. I think it'll be good. Okay. So, I think what I need to do is I need to run back to my supply room and get some supplies. Because I'm going to need, as I said, I'm definitely going to need some more materials. I didn't bring nearly enough cobble with me. I'm going to need probably some coarse dirt. I might grab a little bit of that and a few other different things as well. So let me run back home and I'll come back to you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got some trap chests over here and we're just going to put those in like so. So that gives us basically 9 chests that we can store stuff in. That should be enough at least to get us started. Let's take our ender chest, and I'm actually going to keep that in my inventory, I think. We'll put all of this dirt, and I'm going to put coarse dirt down here. Let's see. I'm also going to have to label all of these things for sure, because right now, right now it's kind of a disaster, but that's okay. I'll get a little bit of that mossy stone. Gravel, I suppose, would go into... I guess I'll put it in this chest. It doesn't really matter. But we need to kind of add some detail to the inner walls and things like that here. So I think, first and foremost, let's tear into the ceiling a bit. And we'll do it in kind of an unconventional shape. Maybe unconventional is the wrong word. A bit of a randomized shape. Let's use that word instead. I think that fits what I'm going for here a little bit better. Maybe do something like that, and then extend that log up so it doesn't look super derpy. I think that's good. Okay, now, as far as the walls and stuff goes, we definitely need to add some detail to the walls. So let's grab some cobble. And we're just going to kind of put that in instead like this. And then I think we should probably do the same thing in the ceiling as well. Like so. Maybe here. It's kind of wrapping around. Maybe put one there. And maybe one here. Just a little bit of cobble, you know? Just kind of like so. I think that's good. I was considering using mossy cobble, but I don't think that's a good idea. The more I think about it, I don't want this to be, I don't want this to look like a lot of the other things that we've built that have used kind of this block combination. So I think I'm going to avoid using a lot of, I'm going to avoid using a lot of mossy cobble, and in fact, I will probably avoid using mossy cobble at all. I am going to get some gravel in, though. I think that looks good. I think that really fits the feel very well. So we'll just mix a little bit of that in here and there. Just in a couple little places. Like this. Part of the problem is finding, when it comes to building with gravel, part of the problem is finding spots where you can actually put it without it falling and basically becoming useless. So, there we go. I think that's good. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay. So we'll put that back. Now, I want some cobblestone slabs. There we go. And we're just going to put those in a couple of places. Just to kind of add a little bit up here, maybe one here. Maybe we do a couple of them, you know, kind of just kind of spread them out. Just to break up some of these lines. Maybe we'll do another one right here. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay, now, I think the next step is going to be more fences, maybe some trapdoors, maybe even some slabs. In fact, we could pretty easily get slabs into the block palette by doing maybe some things like this, right? Just basically they're like supports that just kind of hold things up. See what I mean? Just not perfect or anything like that, but just like little kind of supporting bits. And then maybe we can get some fences in various places as well. Maybe like here? That's not really a great place for them. In fact, that doesn't look very good at all. Let's put the torches that were here back. And some of these torches I think I'm going to get rid of. This one, it would actually be really cool to put a torch. Can I not put a torch there? There we go. Wonder why I wouldn't let me do that before. That's a little funky. But maybe something like that. That's pretty cool. I think I could get behind that. I think that looks good. We could maybe do some fences over here. Maybe we put just one right there. Couple of torches. Yeah, this is coming together. I like the way that this is turning out. I really do. I think this is pretty cool. Now, we're also going to need an entrance. And what I'm kind of envisioning here for an entrance is something kind of like this. So, right, I think we're going to have to push that back a little bit. I think that's a little bit too much. I don't think we want to push it back that much. So I think the entrance is going to have to kind of go like right about here. So we'll maybe bring some logs like that. We'll put some, maybe something kind of like this would be the way to go. And then we'll just kind of extend that little bit out. So it ends up looking something along these lines, is what I'm thinking. And then we'll have to add some supports to these bridges and stuff like that. But that's okay, we can do that. And I think that looks all right, actually. That's not bad. Let's put a torch here and here. So one goes there, one goes there. This I don't like. Let's just take it out entirely. Like so. Actually, that looks pretty good. And then this is our little builder's man cave. Not bad, not bad. But guys, I think that is pretty much all that I have time for in this episode. Please, if you have suggestions for the name of this city, some of the lore of this city, some ideas for this city, all that kind of stuff, please, by all means, put it in the comments down below. I look forward to seeing it. But as for me, guys, I think that's going to do it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.